Hello and welcome to Toy Vet episode 43. This is a show where I react to upcoming toy releases. I have here a list of recent toy releases that I saw, knew I would want to take a second look at, and instead of taking that second look, I'm doing that here with you. So these are fairly fresh reactions, with some exceptions, mostly on the last two that we look at every week. But in general, fairly fresh reactions on this stuff. So let's jump into it. First up, we have Deluxe and Standard Glitch Blind Box by O Amalgam Studios. Includes 7-inch or 4-inch designer toy plus pin plus print plus sticker. Available at New York Comic Con 2025. This is from back in October. That's how far back I am on these shows. I have so much stuff saved up. We're still back in October. So let's see what this looks like. It's like a guy over the city. It looks kind of 3D printed. Looks like it's definitely 3D printed unless I'm totally wrong. Oh, are these like sports mascots? Interesting. They're pretty big and pretty cool looking. It's a little weird that they're 3D printed. I don't know how I feel about just straight up 3D printed toys, because I feel like you should just sell the files, maybe. I don't know. But maybe it is fine to just sell them as toys. I thought about doing it once, a long time ago. I was like, I'm going to get a 3D printer and make toys and do a Kickstarter. But I never ended up doing it. I like the size. I like the look. I like straight black figures. But yeah, weird that they're 3D printed. And if they're sports related, I'm not totally into that. But pretty cool. More Comic-Con stuff. Retro felines. Resin figures from Furry Feline Creatives. I guess they're retro because they have cassette decks on. They're listening to Walkman. They're kind of cool looking. Wonder how big they are. Got your little cosmic variants. They're $35 or $45 for the chases, which they're just selling on a first come first serve basis. It looks like this is all back in October, obviously. Wonder how big they are. Yeah, looks like we don't really get a peek at that. I mean, I imagine they're just a couple inches, so it's kind of expensive for that. I'm not totally into them either, although they're pretty cool looking. Anyway, next. This is just stuff available at Toy Tokyo. Origini, 2X Aitsu from Punk Truckers, and the statue from Nave Tokyo. I bet I'm in this for the Punk Truckers. Not really into these guys. I'm starting to really like these Punk Trucker guys. As I've said before, pending looking into the drunk part, because I really don't like drinking. I really like these figures and this character. And these are great colorways. Pink and black and pink and white. Really cool. I like them a lot. And I think this is photoshopped on the actual Statue of Liberty, I guess. It's a pretty cool looking figure. It's like an alien Statue of Liberty guy eating ice cream. Pretty cool. But yeah, these are really neat. I like them a lot. They might be something I look into getting in the future, although not going to be getting much in the future probably. Okay. Also, Comic-Con from back in October, Pollyanna Studio, The Crimson Hatchling of Dreams. Pretty cool. I don't remember seeing this at all, but here I have put it in my list. It's kind of like a Fabergé egg. That's probably why I put it on here. It's kind of cool looking. I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the show before. Probably like 10, 15 years ago, I was like, maybe I should collect Fabergé eggs, even if it's really hard to get one. I'll just get one or something. Then I found out they're like priceless relics, and there's barely any of them in existence, and there's no way you'll get one. They're pretty cool though. Not all of them look the best, but they're just kind of neat. But yeah, this is a cool little homage to that type of thing, I guess. It's a one-off, so this is probably really expensive too. Pretty cool. Next up, Lulu the Piggy Burger Express Movable Series Blind Box. I'm not into Lulu the Piggy, but I must have thought this looked cool, so let's take a look. I'm sure I put these on there here because they're food themed, and I like food themed toys sometimes anyway. See, this has a Kika Goods watermark on it. That's a little odd. So I feel like they don't normally do that. I feel like I don't normally see a watermark on there. Although I feel like it's usually they use their own photos. I've assumed that in the past. This seems to confirm that. Like, really good shot with the burgers out of focus in the background. That's really cool. Yeah, these are... I was hoping these would be more food oriented. Instead of the pig is like the main focus really in all of them. I like that it's a fry container and a burger box. That's cool. But fairly big for what it is. The packaging's really cool. I got some socks a couple years ago in a burger socks in a burger, a very nice like burger box, and I've saved the box in case I ever use it someday. Use it as a deck box for a card game or something would be cool. Anyway, that's these. I'm not really into them, but they're kind of a hint of something cool with the fry box and the burger box, but yeah. Anyway, next up. Lulu the Piggy Surprise Can 2 Terror Castle. Got more Lulu stuff on here, even though I'm not into that character in general. These look sort of... I wonder if they're flocked. They look flocked. That's kind of funny. The Frankenstein one, if you open its head, has tomatoes inside. Is it a surprise? Do you just get... But there's only two? Is that how it works? I mean, it's $45? That's crazy. Oh, each set includes 2 figures. Okay. So it's called Surprise Can 2, but it shows you right on the box what you get, and it's not a blind box. You just get both of these guys. But it's in like a spam tin type thing, which that is cool. But yeah, not into Lulu. It is funny that there's tomatoes in the brain of the Frankenstein, and you can tell we're back in October because it's Halloween themed stuff. So maybe one day I'll catch up. I've thought about... The reason I'm not caught up is I have another YouTube channel and on video games, and I work on that every other week, and this channel every other week. So I've thought about trying to catch up to be more contemporary on this channel by just working on it every week until I catch up, because I'm scheduled out to episode 55. I could do episode 54 like tonight if I had to, and we're on 43, and that's why we're back in October with our list here. Anyway, not sure if I'll do that or not. Next up, Learg Tart from Lee Toy. $55. 55 by 120 by 85 millimeters, which I think is fairly small. I do like this. It's cool. If the googly eyes are actually googly, I'm not a huge... I don't know if I'm into that or not. But I do like the figure overall. Pretty cool. Let's do 55. So it's 2 inches by 120 and 85. Almost 5 inches. And 3.5 inches, so I guess the 5 inches is probably the wingspan. I'm busting out the ruler to help visualize this, which I highly recommend when you're browsing toys and you think about the size. So that's actually pretty big if that's the wingspan. See, I'd love... A lot of toys really need to focus on the size and giving you like it in someone's hand. If it's really 5 inches wide, that's actually would be pretty big on the shelf. That would be the biggest dimension, right? It's not... It's wider than it is tall, definitely. But why would it be 5 inches wide and only like 3.5 inches thick? I guess because the arms add an 1.5 inches or 2 for the wingspan measurement. Pretty cool figure. Now I'm holding a metal ruler I gotta put down without making a loud sound. Build your own Frankenstein version Water Bear from PPD Adventure. $75 for 15 centimeter tall vinyl toy. Centimeters I don't really know. Millimeters I actually have an idea of sometimes from playing tabletop games, but okay, that's 6 inches. Okay, these figures I've seen a bunch, but I haven't really clicked with them too much. They're alright. I haven't really clicked with them too much, but I saw this. I thought it was cool. Build your own Water Bear. You do the head, left upper arm and lower arm, the legs, and the body, all different colors. I guess the arms have to be the same color. Part 2 is left upper and lower arm, and it says 6 parts, 8 if counting hands individually. Colors max 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Assemble the pieces to bring your freak to life. See, it looks really cool seeing them lined up like this. You'd almost think this color schemes wouldn't work, but they kind of are working. Being these random colors. So you're supposed to make the payment, then submit this Google Doc, and you pick. Ooh, you can pick Surprise Me. That's really cool. You just end up with a totally random one. I like that a lot, actually. And there's 3, 4, 5. There's 6 colors to choose from. You could also just go... Oh yeah, it says it right here. You could just go all one color. I think that would actually look cool too. Here's some of the official colorways. They're expensive. There's some one-offs that are $400. This is $75, which is crazy. But anyway. Yeah, I've talked a lot about how some of these toys are so expensive, and they're really the same quality design-wise as like some gacha toys that cost $5. So very weird. Anyway, next up. Hopeless from Beard New Toy. It's like a hunched over depressed guy with tentacles coming out of him. 18 centimeters tall. Here, this is a weird picture, but you can see it in this guy's hands. There's blue, green, and red. I think the guy is the same in each one, I believe. And the tentacles is just the color of the tentacles. Oh, they interviewed him a little bit here. Is the guy like... What's going on with him? Is his face normal? Oh, we're getting sound. I don't know if you're getting the sound. I don't know if he's wearing like ski goggles or he just has a mouth for a face. I don't know. Interesting figure. I'm not super into it, but it is pretty striking and cool. Anyway. Alright, last but not least, we're going to go to MechNoise Toys, which we look at every time we have this show. Although, I think we may have talked about this before. We might stop that in the future. I know we looked at this amazing Twin Tyrant. Let's see. I think this is new. Demon Buster X-Ray version. Although I think we've seen something like this from them. Inside you got a little ghost pilot guy. Oh, that's cool. Glows in the dark and lights up the translucent thing. Let's see. This was a lottery type thing. Started on March 4th. Oh, now through March 4th. February 27th through March 4th. Let's see. 154 US dollars. And there's 20 of them. I think I've talked before about how you might get the impression that all MechNoise stuff is super, super expensive because they'll do some really limited ones that are really expensive, but they'll do these more mass production ones and they're way more affordable. And I'd highly recommend, if you want a MechNoise one, just wait till there's a figure you like that's one of these, like, you know, it's a run of 20 or whatever, and it costs like $200 with shipping. And it's just way, way more affordable than their lower run ones. This guy's really cool. I don't like that the ghost has like demon horns, although I guess it's like an Asian yokai type thing. Don't like this is like has some Buddhist vibes to it with the hat and stuff too, but otherwise I really like the figure. Is the sword glow in the dark too? Let's see if when they show in the dark, see if the sword glows. It did in that one still. I think we'll see right here, maybe, if they show the sword. Glow in the dark ghost. Weapons. It looks like glass, which is really cool. I don't know if you saw for a split second there, the sword looked glow in the dark. But this one doesn't really. Well, either way, not a figure I would get, but a very cool, very well done figure. There's some EVA stuff, which I'm not into. Last but not least, every week we look at Galaxy People. I'm actively trying to get a Galaxy People figure, which is why this is really exciting news. I think we covered this photo last time, but even if not, this guy will be in these photos. This is all the stuff that's going to be at Mushroom Fest, which I think is over. Yeah, it's March 7th and March 8th, so these figures may all be gone, but you got the Dino guy, which I think is Trag in Spider Tank. Very cool looking. You got the cat guy with a really cool... He looks great, actually. And you can tell these are small figures by the way the hands are up and not posable. That's a Galaxy People thing. I love this guy, the head anyway, and I love that he left it all black here mostly. These gems, I'm not 100% sold on. He's been doing these from time to time in his figures, these gems in the chest plate. Can't decide if they look great or I'm not into them. I like this figure. Yeah, it's pretty cool in general. I really like the way the head's done on this one, and this is one of my favorite Mechnoids figures. Not totally into this guy with the bat head. That's not Sensor Bat, just regular bat, and the wings. Still really cool actually, but just not my favorite Galaxy People figure. All right, then if we look at this next pose, we're gonna get to see like everything he's gonna have, which is a lot, or he did have. Here's a quick video of all the stuff he's gonna have. I wonder if this is how many he's gonna have too. Like, is it 6 of each or something? The vehicles. Yeah, we'll take a closer look at these and the big guys, which is exciting. So, yeah, that's what this post is. This is his first in-person show out of Japan, I think, is what he's saying. And he made one of like every type of figure he does, which is really, really cool. I think someone may have asked if there were going to be leftovers. Let's see. I thought someone might have asked and he said maybe, but it wouldn't be right away. So I don't know if leftovers are coming on these to the online store. That's how it usually works. He does a show, whatever doesn't sell, he puts on the online store, occasionally saving stuff for the online store. All this stuff might have sold out, who knows? But yeah, he's got Zorg, the monkey guy. This is really cool. It's like a catalog of all his stuff. This is a really cool release. Must have been a ton of work. Sometimes he only does a couple figures for each show, and there's a lot of time between the shows. And so I think this must be a lot of work to get all these done. Zorg, pretty cool guy. I'm not totally into just it being a monkey guy. Mechlops, one of my favorites. I love these geometric head guys with one eye that he has. I wish he had big versions of these guys. He only has 2 figures that he does in the big size. You can tell, like I said, these are the small size because the arms are up and not posable. So they're a smaller size. I really like the smaller size. I want to get one of his bigger figures though, and then maybe in the future a smaller one. Great colorway for the Mechlops too. This Crocky looks really awesome actually. Love the colorway. Love the head and the colorway. Viridius, pretty cool. You can see it's the same body as the Zorg. He seems like a lot of his releases he's just switching up heads and bodies, which I actually really like that. You'd think I might not like that, but I actually really like that. He's like, he switches things up with the different types of bodies and arms and heads he does. I think the arms are always go with the bodies, but here's Herod, which is like a snake guy. Trag, which is the dino guy. Not the biggest fan of Trag, but some of his figures look cool. This one's cool. Him driving the vehicle, I kind of didn't like at first, but it really grew on me because it's like a giant head sticking out of the vehicle talking. Grappler, another one of the geometric heads with a single eye that I really like. Really cool. Great colorway too. Liked it a lot. Helios, yet another. This, we looked at this guy already. Those 3 are probably my favorite from him, and I'd love for him to make a big one. But I like the little ones too. Mechlops, Grappler, Helios. Drexel, that's the name of the cat guy. Really cool. Sensor Bat, very cool. Skrill, not as into that. Really like Sensor Bat a lot better than this one. And I think it's weird that he has 2 bat guys. I mean, it looks great actually. The eyes really have a glowing look. The wings, I wonder what they're made out of. Not totally into them, but I wonder what they're made out of. And I wonder if the bodies were like really translucent because you can see red in the back. Is that just part of the paint job or is that the wings shining through? Drexel battle damage. This is pretty cool. It's a Drexel with part of the face ripped off there. You can see the skull underneath. Pretty cool. Vehicles. Galaxy Interceptor, which is like a spaceship. Cephalopod, which is like a squid vehicle. Squid spaceship. Really cool. Iraq Spider Tank. Really awesome. And this is what I was talking about. You got the giant dinosaur head sticking out. And these guys, I think he said at one point he made these vehicles because when he makes these little guys, he ends up with extra heads, and so he just started shoving those heads in these vehicles as something to do with the heads, and it's a really great style. Turns out great. And you got Censorship, which is like a little spaceship that matches Censorbat, and I think always has Censorbat in him. Then you got your big figures. Wait a second, I'm just wondering. There's no Little Gon. Interesting. No Little Gon. I wonder if he makes Little Gons. I think he does, but I'm not positive. Maybe he only makes big Gons. So these are the big figures. You can tell because the arms are down and the arms are posable. You can tell right there. I'm currently trying to get one of these big figures once I see one I like and it's available, which is a rare combo. Might be a while before I actually get one. So let me look at these Censorbats. Let's see. Okay. So like this Censorbat is like wearing pants and like a little suit. I've noticed the big Censorbats lately, they sort of are, they have like fur going on, and I'm not as into that as the pants look. Great figure otherwise. I really like what he did with the eyes and stuff, but it's turning me off of the big Censorbats a little bit, although they're still really cool. Gon is a great figure. This is a great colorway. I would be tempted to spring for this. If it came on the web store, I would strongly consider springing for it. I've been waiting a really long time to pull the trigger on getting one of his big figures, as probably one of the last big figures I get under normal circumstances without like saving up money for a long time. Yeah, so I'm hoping some of this stuff comes to the web store. Obviously, it'd be great if he sold out at the show. That'd be great for him. But I'd love to see it come to the web store and maybe even snag this guy if he's available. If not, I'll be playing the waiting game for the next release and hoping for leftovers. But yeah, really cool figures. And this checklist is a great just tracker of the figures he does. Although, yeah, I came up with this mystery right here of does he do Little Gons? Is that a thing? I'm going to go. And does he do big Censorbats with different pants? I bet not, because I bet he doesn't have multiple big molds of bodies. I bet all his big Censorbats have the fur or whatever this is going on rather than the like spacesuit look of this one. I'm going to go look actually while we're on the show. Why not? I'm going to turn off the feed because there's some inappropriate stuff on his page from time to time. Not from him, other people's stuff. Yeah, the little... I'll show you in a sec if I find anything. First, let's find, does he do Little Gons? And do all the big Censorbats have the no pants thing going on? Sorry, I'm doing it this way. Just saves me from editing, which I hate editing. Looking for Little Gons. This is great content, I know. Yeah, I'm not seeing... I apologize. I just want to do this research, talk about it here live on the show, but I don't want to do any editing, so... Yeah, so all the big sensor bats don't have pants. I think all the little sensor bats do. And I don't think he makes little Gons. I think Gons are only big, which I didn't know that. I'm glad I figured that out today. Alright. I'll leave you with this if I can find it real quick. Let's see here. Sorry for that. When was this? Back in 2021, he made some Keshi size figures. Really cool. Keshi size, but not Keshi. Rigid polyurethane resin. A Helios and an Asterian parasitoid. Really cool. I wonder if he makes any other versions of this character. That's really cool. Anyway, great stuff coming out from Galaxy People as usual. Hoping for something from the web store. We learned some more about the line today. I don't think there's little Gons, and all the big sensor bats don't wear pants. That makes me not want to get a big sensor bat, because I really like. Yeah, it was weird. This is kind of a mystery solved. I'm like, sensor bats are so cool. Looking at the little ones, then I saw some big ones, and I was like, ooh, I'm like, maybe I'll get a big one. Then I looked at it, and I'm like, something's off about those legs. I'm not as big a fan of them. And now I'm realizing that all the little ones have the spacesuit look and the big ones have the natural fur look. So I think that's why. Not that they're bad or anything. I really genuinely like everything this guy does. But, nitpicking which figure I would buy, that's my thinking on sensor bats. And then, yeah, just interesting to note that there's no little Gons. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good night.